With gratitude and appreciation, we celebrate our young people today at the 2022 Regional High School Art Show. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is John Welch, and I am the superintendent of the Puget Sound Educational Service District. It's truly an honor to be part of this annual award show, and I'm excited to share this experience with all of you. In this virtual celebration, we endeavor to highlight each artist's amazing creativity. As you listen to their words, I know the meaning behind their work and collective energy will resonate wherever you may be watching. In yet another year, replete with challenges, these young people have funneled the complexity of their lives into creative outlets. Bearing witness to their ideas and reflections will undoubtedly inspire hope and amazement. Please join me in recognizing these remarkable students who share their gifts with all of us in the 2022 Regional High School Art Show. The Puget Sound ESD is proud to announce the 7 winners of the Regional High School Art Show. These entries received the highest scores and will advance to the 49th Annual State High School Art Show through OSPI and Olympia.
Okay, well, my name is Erwin Limerick. I am a 12th grader at Puyallup High School, and my piece is titled Immigrant Stereotypes. I made my piece after seeing a TED Talk by Chimamanda Adichie, and she talked about her experience as a Nigerian immigrant coming to the States to go to college, and how all of her classmates thought that she was impoverished and uneducated just because she came from Nigeria, when in reality she was a really well-spoken and well-educated individual. She ended up becoming a really successful author, and obviously I got to see her TED Talk about her experience. My piece ended up showing the deficit between what people think immigrants' experiences are and what they can actually do, what success looks like in America, and oftentimes that's being an immigrant. I practice realism in my art, and I use colored pencil in this piece specifically because it can show the in-depth details which show the serious nature of immigrant stereotypes.
My name is Shui Mazur, and I'm a senior at West Seattle High School. My piece is called Pillar. I wanted to make a piece that I could gift to my dad, so I went through some baby photos and picked a photo of us at a beach when I was around 2 as the reference photo, and I thought it'd be a nice depiction of us together. The assignment was a graphite portrait on any medium of choice, so I chose watercolor for the background because I wanted to have a background that would match the cool tones of the graphite.
Our next winner is Greta Michaelgard, a junior from Tacoma Science and Math Institute. Upon hearing of the award, Greta had this to say: "Thank you so much. I am honored to be recognized for my art, Salmon's Way Home. I was inspired to make this piece during a month-long art class surrounding the idea of salmon and their impact on different cultures and the environment. Salmon are an extremely important animal to many things, including us. I wrote a poem that explored how salmon somehow always know how to return to the place they were born once they reach the end of their life in a continuous cycle, which inspired my art the most. I chose to make Salmon's Way Home in mixed media because I had originally made the salmon traditionally with watercolor and colored pencil with the intentions of a scientific illustration. But we were then tasked to make a surrealistic piece, and I knew that using a program on my tablet would bring my idea to life best. Thank you so much for recognizing my art."
My name is Malia Ohira, and I am a senior at Auburn Riverside High School. The name of my piece is Solid to the Touch. What inspired me to make this piece was the idea of making solid objects look like they're liquid or have movement to them. And I chose this medium because not only do I love making jewelry, but also I think that metal is a very strong and solid medium to use. So making a form like that look like it has fluidity and movement to it is something that I thought would be really cool and also challenging. I strive to challenge myself with every piece that I make. So making this, I wanted to do the exact same.
The next winner is Alyssa Garcia, a senior from Harrison Preparatory School. Her piece is entitled Ignorance. In her own words, I was inspired to do this piece because I wanted to play with skeletal structure and to vent. I've gone through some things and I use painting to cope occasionally. As such, I thought I would paint something related to my issues while learning and incorporating something new into my artwork. I chose acrylic as my medium because I'm most familiar with it. Working with new materials stresses me out and can make me uncomfortable because of that deep fear that I may mess up. As such, I did what was most comfortable for me.
So my name is Armando Mundaka. I'm in grade 12 at Auburn Riverside. My piece was called Silver Peak. It's a metal ring made out of wax first, and basically, the whole inside is carved out. So basically, I made it to show just different volumes of the metal that you can make out of wax, and how you could make a different form of it to not make it just a simple flat ring or a curved ring.
Our next winner is Hillary Chen, a senior at Newport High School. Upon hearing of her win, Hillary had this to say. I created swim meat noodles in response to a prompt in ceramics class asking about a memory of food we have. One of my first works in clay, the piece is a hyper-realistic sculpture of cup noodles that I used to buy at swim meets.
Hi, my name is Shauna Liu. I'm a senior at Forest Ridge, and the title of my artwork is Slices of Commodification. I wanted to create a piece that encompassed an issue of capitalism that has been present for so long yet is so undervalued still. The continued commodification of resources we don't have enough of and cannot afford to take for granted any further is the reason why I chose to create a piece about it. By comparing nature to food in this context, the concepts of excess and greed versus necessity and moderation become more evident. Nature is like pizza. The first time we take from it, it is for survival. We satisfy our hunger by the second slice, but look, there's still more pizza. If we don't take it for yourself, other people will. We split up the land, squares and pieces, cut from the earth and uprooted, shoveled into our greedy mouths. The cheese hangs from the next slice, desperate to go back to the earth, like roots of a tree. Our eyes are bigger than our stomachs, with the greedy nature of commodification stuffing our bellies, bulging from consuming more than we can handle. We only truly appreciate the things we have when there are no more left. So as a child, I loved creating with clay, and I loved crafting little trifles, and I loved teaching myself how to work with clay. So the choice to make this piece out of clay was unrelated to the message I want to embed in the piece, but I want to revisit a medium that had represented the beginning of my creative endeavors and the beginning of my love for art.
Hi, my name is Mara Foster. I'm 15. I go to Charles Wright Academy. I used oil paint on my painting. The painting title is One Pair, and what inspired me to make it was including more lesbian representation in artwork by there are two queens that hold hands, and it's like they're like two playing cards that are queens that hold hands, and it just reflects like a moment of LGBTQ representation in everyday life.
My name is Lacey Kober. I'm 18 and I am a senior at Bonnie Lake High School. My piece is titled The Real Cost because it highlights the harsh realities of human trafficking. I've been very interested in creating original stylistic art and illustrations that bring attention to social issues. This concept was inspired after I attended a rally in Salt Lake City to bring awareness to human trafficking. This piece discusses an issue we think of as so distant and unrealistic and turns it into an everyday activity. The purpose of this piece is to emphasize that this is a real and pervasive issue. The reasoning behind the animal heads in my piece is to showcase how these people can be deceiving and appear to be friendly or trustworthy. This piece was created solely with the medium of micron pens due to the fact that I'm fairly confident with them and I have experience with them, and I wanted to keep the coloring style simple with just black and white.
and the Puget Sound Educational Service District Awards. The Staff Choice Award comes with a $200 award, goes to Zoe Stenson, Tahoma High School Winter Scene. The Superintendent Choice, which comes with a $200 award, goes to Jenny Lee, Enumclaw High School, Embraceable Fracture. Best in Show 2-Dimension goes to Ella Wilson, Tahoma High School, What is Real. Best in Show 3-Dimension goes to Hillary Chen, Newport High School, Swim Meet Noodles.
The winner of the PSESD Board Choice Award is Anthropogenic by Nora Kuhl. In her own words, "What inspired me was the main task to make scientific illustrations of salmon to help educate elementary school children. We got the opportunity to create a surrealist piece as well, and as someone who greatly enjoys surreal art, I really wanted to create a painting that properly conveyed my feelings on the topic being salmon and how pollution not only affects them, but the ecosystems surrounding them." Honorable mentions go to Plus Rien by Zoe Molinari, Salmon's Way Home by Greta Michaelgard, Unification by Celine Min, and Embraceable Fracture by Jenny Lee.
Hello, my name is Brian Carter, and I'm the Executive Director of For Culture, which is King County's cultural funding agency. It's my pleasure to announce the King County Executive Award winners for the 2022 Regional High School Art Show. Art is such an important way that we see ourselves, those around us, and our future. The winners of the King County Executive Arts Awards display not just artistic talent, but they prove the vital role arts play in sustaining a world that is creative, innovative, and adaptable to change, something that's increasingly important. So without further ado, I'll announce the 2022 award winners. First is Betsy Soto, whose work Sun and Moon Crossing is a winner this year. She's in 12th grade from Auburn High School. Next, Malia O'Hara, a 12th grader at Auburn Riverside High, whose piece is entitled Solid to the Touch. Next is Shonyu Liu, a 12th grader from Forest Ridge School of the Sacred Heart, whose piece is entitled Slices of Commodification. Next is Celine Min, a 12th grader from Forest Ridge School of the Sacred Heart, whose work is entitled Unification. And lastly is Nu Wong Sherpa, a 9th grader at Newport High School, whose piece is entitled Decorative Sherpa Pakpur. So on behalf of the King County Executive and all of For Culture, congratulations to the 2022 award winners.
Hello, everyone. I'm Kelly Johnson, President of the Pierce County Arts Commission. I am so happy to be representing the commission here today. This event is definitely one of the highlights of our year. We always look forward to the high level of student talent, and we're never disappointed. The Pierce County Arts Commission serves as a volunteer advisory group to the Pierce County government for art-related projects. Our 9-member commission delivers programs and services that stimulate participation and growth in the arts throughout Pierce County. Thank you to all of the participating students and their teachers. The following awards are presented on behalf of the entire commission. The Pierce County Executive Award recognizes the talented efforts of 11th grader Nora Kuhl from the Science and Math Institute in Tacoma. Nora's piece is entitled Anthropogenic. In her artist statement, Nora says that, quote, "This piece is meant to convey the significance of our effect on the ecosystem and how things can trickle down to all fauna. It's important to embrace our effect and make changes wherever possible. The appreciation of life is one of the most powerful things." The Pierce County Arts Commission Award recognizes the creative work of 12th grader Lacey Kober from Bonnie Lake High School. According to Lacey, her pen and ink drawing is, quote, making a statement about human trafficking. It brings to light a very real problem that is often hidden or pushed under the rug. In this piece, she says, I've depicted a businessman shopping at a convenience store, but instead of shopping items on the shelves, there are dolls. These dolls represent the many people who are dehumanized by this criminal activity. The Pierce County Arts Commission will be purchasing these two exemplary works of art for the county's permanent collection. There were so many talented and moving pieces submitted in this year's competition. We would like to also recognize two additional standout pieces with this year's Honorable Mention Award. Immigrant Stereotypes by Puyallup 12th grader Erwin Limerick. This powerful colored pencil and graphite drawing is a magazine cover inspired by Chimamanda Adichie's TED Talk on the danger of immigrant stereotypes. The left side shows Adichie's success as an author in America, and the right side shows the impoverished stereotype that people assume her life in Nigeria to resemble. This piece shows the contrast between the true accomplishments of immigrants in America and what others often reduce them to. The second piece we'd like to honor is Salmon's Way Home by 11th grader Greta Mickelgard from the Science and Math Institute. This piece is a digital painting of a Chinook salmon following road signs to make its way back to its birthplace. It began with watercolor and colored pencils in an art class that taught scientific illustrations of salmon. Greta then wrote an ode to salmon, asking the question of how salmon always know how to return to the place they were born. From these poems came a new piece of surreal art based on that poem. Using her scientific drawing, Greta removed the background digitally and re-imaged the fish following road signs and maps. Thank you so much to all of the amazing creative pieces in this year's competition.
Hello, my name is Greg Schlanger, and I am the chair of the Department of Art at Central Washington University. Central Washington University is located in Ellensburg, Washington. It's almost right smack dab in the middle of the state, right where Interstate 90 meets Interstate 82, not too far over the mountains from Renton. We offer several different degree programs at Central Washington University in our department, from studio art, graphic design, and art education. If you'd like more information about it, please just reach out to me, Greg Schlanger at cwu.edu. I'm going to get right into our awards today. We are awarding 8 Central Washington University tuition waiver scholarships. Each one of these awards is $2,000. Each student will receive an award letter and certificate in the mail soon. Christy Lee's digital art image is really just a beautiful piece. It has just wonderful painterly qualities to it. I'm really super impressed with the ability to render the glass, the reflections within the glass piece. Nice job. Our next award is to Nora Kuhl. Nora Kuhl's watercolor is a wonderful use of the material, and it tells an important story. The strong diagonal of the yellow center lines dividing pavement and water speaks to this destruction. Our next award goes to Jean Mulanga. This is a powerful and beautiful image. The strong contrast in value gives it form, and the powerful gaze illustrates confidence. Nice job on this photography. Our next award goes to Erwin Limerick, and this is a color pencil and graphite piece. First, I think this is just an amazing, well-rendered drawing. It is well thought out. It's a well thought out illustration for a magazine cover. The concept of the split image speaks of the stereotype is brilliant. Our next award is to Jaylyn Walker. The craft in this piece is fantastic. I appreciate how the total composition is presented and the use of the various materials, of course, including the ceramics, to illustrate the image for the album cover is wonderful. Thank you. Our next award is to Ash Reichenbach. This ceramic sculpture is filled with emotion. As I view it, I become more aware of my own heartbeat. I think many of us sometimes feel as if our heart is about to explode. Our next award goes to Kellen Dugan for a lumen print. And I guess I just have to say, wow, just wow. What a process you've gone through to produce this beautiful abstract image. I keep coming back to it to discover something new. The layers within the image create such depth visually and conceptually. Fantastic. And our final award is given to Zoe Stinson for a pastel drawing. This is just an outstanding use of pastels. I'm impressed with the blending techniques in the sky and the water, and the hard edge detail within the trees. Wonderful job, Zoe, but fantastic, everybody. Congratulations to all the students, and of course, all the students that are in this exhibit. It was very tough decisions trying to narrow this down this year. Bravo, you all. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Beverly Harding Bueller. I serve as the Executive Director of Arts Impact. We are an arts education nonprofit in the Puget Sound region, and it is our pleasure to offer for the second year running now something for the called the GRIT Award for the Puget Sound High School Art Show. And the GRIT Award is to really honor perseverance and students that really go above and beyond in terms of putting their full selves into their work and persevering through challenges to find their own expression. So this year, we are pleased to announce that the High School Art Show GRIT Award goes to Joy Blasco, who is a student at Rogers High School. Joy created a piece called Biscuit's First Pumpkin, and it is a beautiful, joy-filled piece with a little yellow puppy peeking out of an orange pumpkin, and it's filled with texture, and the puppy has expression on its face, and the pumpkin is beautifully considered and wrapped around the dog, and it filled all of us with delight. And then we were really, really pleased to hear from Joy's teacher, Amy Aaron, who's going to speak next, a little bit more about Joy, to let her know that Joy had won this award. And the last thing I'll say about that is that we believe that all good work should be honored, and so Arts Impact also will be sending Joy a check for $150 as part of her winning the GRIT Award. So I'll turn it over to Amy Aaron to speak a little bit about Joy.
Thank you so much for that introduction. This is such a cool honor to be talking about Joy and to be here supporting her as her teacher. I've had Joy for 2 years now. We first met right in the early part of the pandemic. She transferred to Rogers High School, and I had never met her in person. Generally, I just saw a little black box on a screen, but I could see all of her beautiful artwork shining whenever she brought it to school, and it was just amazing. She was the only student that I had who would make 10 times as much as what I asked for. Through all the hardships that she's been going through this year, along with being a senior in the first year back from, the really tough online school for many of our students, she again still will come in every lunch, after school, lots of days. She's now our president of our ceramics club, and she just finds any time to support our students and her peers. She's helping me out with our Empty Bowls project to donate back to the food bank. So she's just one of the best students that I've had in a long time. And I'm so excited that she's getting recognized this year because the project is actually of her own puppy, and she's now doing biscuit in all different styles. So she's got a spring biscuit coming with butterflies. She's gonna make a winter biscuit and a fall biscuit. So I just can't wait for her to hear about this, and congratulations, Joy.